Welcome back. A pansexual reporter tries to bail Vivid at the lower state fair. Instead, he delivered a master class on how to instantly turn the tables. His masterful warning against activism in children and their tyranny of the minority. Recently, I have seen this going viral on Twitter. Vivid is known for this.
What were your opinions on the LGBTQ plus community?
Well, I don't think it's one community.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, how could it be? Just mashed together in alphabet soup. Trans is fundamentally in tension with gay, if you ask me. But what's your opinion?
I'm personally pansexual, so I was
Okay.
just wondering what your views on same-sex couples were.
I don't have a negative view of same-sex couples, but I do have a negative view of a tyranny of the minority. So I think that in the name of protecting against a tyranny of the majority, and there are times in this country's history where we have had a tyranny of the majority, we have now, in the name of protecting against tyranny of the majority, created a new tyranny of the minority. And I think that that's wrong. I don't think that somebody who's religious should be forced to officiate a wedding that they disagree with. I don't think somebody who is a woman who's worked really hard for her achievements should be forced to compete against a biological man in a swim competition. I don't think that somebody who's a woman that respects her bodily autonomy and dignity should be forced to change clothes in a locker room with a man. That's not freedom, that's oppression. And so I believe that we live in a country where free adults should be free to dress how they want, behave how they want, and that's fine. But you don't become oppressive by foisting that on others. And that especially includes kids, because kids aren't the same as adults. And so I think adults are free to make whatever choices they want, but do not foist that ideology onto children before children are in a position as adults to make decisions for themselves. And so I think a lot of the frustration in the country, and if I'm being really honest, that I also share, comes from that new culture of oppression where saying those things can actually get somebody punished. And in my case, it's part of why it's my responsibility to say them. And I respect that you may have a different opinion, and that's okay. It's part of what makes our country great is that you and I can be civil and have this conversation, and that we live in a country that still gives us, each of us, the right to speak to a presidential candidate and back, and still say that we pledge allegiance to the same nation. So I think that's the beauty of our country, and that's my honest opinion.
Awesome. Well,
Thanks.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you for your civility as well.
Yes, I don't know if this was staged or what exactly, but when you take a look at Vivid, when it concerns tough questions, the manner in which he takes up such questions with ease. These are difficult questions to tackle that could actually cause division, but the way he flowed through on certain questions, amazing. This is one thing about Vivid. I've noticed a difficult question is never a problem to him, and he doesn't shy away from these questions. When it concerns this topic of LGBT, it has been a real big topic of discussion. Now, coming up to ask this question to Vivid about this is a major issue. I actually wanted to see, how he will respond to this, and I was so impressed to actually see his kind of response. Now, this LGBT, I don't know laws or what exactly has been a major issue in this country where people are actually dividing just because of this.
Oh, there goes rabbit, he choke. He's so mad.
Nice rap song there. How did that come about, Vivek?
It was actually a total surprise. So one of the questions they asked, Kim Reynolds asked me, the governor of Iowa, was, what's your favorite closeout song? She asked all the candidates that. So when I'm leaving the stage, they play the song. I've still got the mic in my hand. I couldn't resist. And one of the things I'm saying is during this campaign, we all got to have a little fun, actually. And on a more serious note, Maria, one of the things we're doing in this campaign is we're reaching young people. We're bringing them along in droves with us. The difference between a 50.1 electoral margin this cycle and a landslide is young people. And I think this can't be just a 50.1 Democrat versus Republican tug of war. This needs to be a landslide, a moral mandate, a Reagan 1980-style revolution. That's what I'm leading. And I think, honest to God, I'm the only candidate in this field who can actually deliver that landslide by bringing the next generation with us. I'm the youngest guy ever to run for the Republican nomination for U.S. president, so I better be doing some things differently.
And some use that as an advantage for themselves. When you take a look at how these people just want to occupy certain spaces because they believe they are the minority, and when they do that, the government is standing there to defend them, is something I have seen happen on daily basis, which is a major issue. Now taking a look into another video, Vivid was criticized for singing. You saw at the beginning of this video where he had to sing this. I think it's Eminem. He had a lot of criticism. Some says it's very cringe. Another question came up about Hunter Biden of Vivid saying he wants to pardon him. It was a major issue. I don't know. I will play this video so you can see exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, that all sounds very good, Vivek, especially in the face of all of these allegations of corruption and cover-up at the DOJ and the FBI. So it leads me to the next question of, did you just say the other day that you want to pardon Hunter Biden? We have evidence, bank records of potential bribery. Ted Cruz just said, if this is true, Biden should go to jail. Are you talking about pardoning the Biden family?
Maria, that was misquoted and purposeful opposition research with the headline. You know how this game is played. I've actually been very clear. I've been the only presidential candidate who has been this clear that the first thing we need to do is clean house, shut down the FBI, refurbish the DOJ. I'm the only candidate to actually pledge to pardon Trump for all of these political persecutions through prosecutions, even peaceful January 6th protesters on down. I'm also happy to go on record. I heard you talking about it before. I'm on record going in favor of an impeachment inquiry on Biden, because I personally believe the Ukraine war is indeed a repayment for a bribe made, now sending $200 billion of taxpayer money in the other direction. But what I've said is, let me fast forward to January 21st, 2025, my second day in office, after we've issued those pardons, after we've set into motion shutting down the FBI, not just reforming it, actually restoring the integrity of our government. The question is the next thing that I then want to do after we've set our nation forward, is it to then focus my agenda on persecuting or prosecuting Joe Biden or his family? My answer to that question is no. I'm going to be focused on stimulating the economy, ending the war in Ukraine, declaring independence from China.
Yes, I believe you can clearly see Vivid respond pertaining to this question. He has been receiving massive backlash for saying he will pardon Hunter Biden. When you take a look at his response here, he says he will not focus on going after these people. That is not his main objective. He will focus on building the economy. I want you to know your thought after this video.